Humans went from being laborers, where our physical bodies were used to physically do things. And we're still very much, a large percentage of humans are still laborers. But there was this emergence in the 20th century of knowledge workers, as they're called. So many of us, I mean, look, you and I are sitting in front of a computer talking to each other. We're not physically laboring to manipulate and make things around us. Some people still are, but automation is slowly starting to replace a lot of physical labor. And pretty soon, AI combined with really good robotics is going to replace nearly every human labor. So, we're already seeing it with self-driving cars, but we'll eventually see it with and automated factories and 3D printing. I mean, the systems of automation and AI are sweeping across every industry. So humans are increasingly becoming creators. We create things that didn't exist before, and our creations show up in a manifest way in the physical world. We have so many more designers than we had 100 years ago. People that are designing visual and physical experiences. We have so many more people that are creators making visual and audio experiences for other humans. And that creator economy, and we spend so much more time enjoying and absorbing all of that creative content. And it really is incredible that Steve Pinker's got a great book, Enlightenment Now, and he shows all the charts that show the relevant statistics of how humans have evolved over the last couple of centuries and why we should be optimistic. The number of wars are down. The number of murders per capita is down. The number of malnourished people is down. The number of calories is up. The lifespan is up. The number of people dying from diseases is down. I mean, across every category, even measures of human happiness. Some people would say, "Oh, social networks are ruining our brains." Maybe to some degree, but there are certain indices of human happiness that have been tracked for a long time that are also improving around the world. And so we often fixate on the fear and the worry of the immediate moment. And it turns out that that's maybe a false narrative, that we really are evolving into a really incredible state. So anyway, we've got this stage that I would argue where humans have gone from laborers to creators. And I think the next stage is narrator, where humans move from being creators to narrators. Because what I see happening in AI is that the role of the knowledge worker is being replaced by the AI. And so, if you look at what an artist can do, an artist can create something that's never been created before. What if the AI can do that as well as the artist? There's an incredible, poignant commentary on human creativity, and I don't think he ever realized how poignant it was, by a hypnotist and magician out of the UK named Darren Brown. And he takes a couple of ad company execs and puts them in a cab, drives them to his office, and he's like, "Hey guys, I want you to make me come up with a name for a pet cemetery and an ad for the pet cemetery." And he comes back at the end of the day, and they've been creatively toiling and brainstorming and coming up with all these great ideas. And 6 hours later, he predicted exactly what they would come up with. And he showed them while they were driving in the cab, they passed by a bear and some kids wearing a name on a t-shirt. And he subliminally influenced them. And they synthesized that subliminal influence into their creative output. And they didn't realize they had done it. And it says so much about human creativity, that human creativity is largely driven in the same way as AI is, which is sensing, synthesis, and then output or prediction. And that human creativity arguably can be achieved through AI. So then the question is, what does the human become if that happens? And I would argue that the human becomes the narrator. We then get to narrate the world we want to have around us. And the AI can resolve the creative content for us. And the automation can resolve the physical work that needs to be done to make that possible. And then humans can go through a phase of extraordinary exploration and consumption and just narration of what it is we want around us. And so the human as narrator is really hard to see today, and it's really hard to talk about and to define. But I think having humans kind of clearly state their intent in the world and see that intent made manifest for them is a really powerful evolutionary state for us. And it has a lot of very positive implications, because you can create all sorts of rules around the creative systems and the automation systems that preserve a lot of the values and the ethics that you care about in the world. And it can use objective functions to solve for those things. And so I'm really excited about seeing that happen. And we're already, look, I mean, go to DALL-E, which is the AI,
GPT-3, right? For creating art.
Yeah, from OpenAI. And it's incredible. You say like, hey, make something in the style of Rembrandt that looks like this. And imagine if that was a movie and you were saying to the movie, hey, I want a scene, 4 people, 2 couples sitting at a dinner table in a little bistro, change the lighting outside, make it 6 p.m., make it on the French, make it in France, put it by a river. The waiter is an asshole. I mean, you could start to really narrate a story without writing a script, without producing, without hiring actors. And the AI resolves the visuals, the music, the audio, the script. And think about this from a gaming context. Today, in order to play video games, a designer has to make and create that video game. They spend $100 million, tens of millions of dollars making that video game. I go in, we all play the same game. There's different experiences we have. But what if I could create my own video game? I could create my own virtual experience. I could create my own physical experience in the world. And it becomes this really incredible and profound transition of humanity to a world of narration that preserves, again, a lot of the ethics we care about in how those systems ultimately resolve that outcome. It sounds a little far-fetched, but I think we're a lot closer than we realize.
Yeah.